Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. Welcome to the match review of our 2-1 win over Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. You guys, we are going through a very eventful game. It was a very interesting game to see as well. I mean, I definitely think that a lot of questions were brought up in this game today. And I think there's a lot of interesting discussion points that came out from this game. And this game had everything, you know, moments of individual brilliance, a lot of mistakes. It was kind of like an old Premier League game, you know, in the second half of the game where it was kind of gung-ho. It was, you know, you attack, we attack. And it was a very entertaining game, I've got to say. But you guys, you know, getting straight into the match review, starting with the lineup. Now, Victor Moses did start. We were a bit surprised by that. I wasn't expecting him to, but, you know, makes sense. We saw Christensen partnering Cahill in defence this time as well. Zappa Costa didn't play. Emerson finally made his first appearance for us. Took so long, and I've definitely got some thoughts on Emerson in today's game. And Cesc Fabregas started and played in that reducer role that Jorginho normally plays in. And yeah, you guys, you know, when we started the game, we started very well. You know, we were able to get our fullbacks up very high. We were able to stretch the game. We were able to get Cesc on the ball. And I feel with Cesc that I think it was a good performance from him. Now, of course, there were moments where he gave the ball away quite easily and he was a bit sloppy at times, but we can't forget that the guy's been injured for how long? You know, him playing a game of this magnitude against a team like Liverpool that work really hard, press really hard, it was always going to take a strain on his body. So I think some of the mistakes that he did make was just down to tiredness and fatigue. But I thought that Cesc did really well, you know, his range of passing, his ability to dictate the game, and you notice with Cesc that he played a bit more ambitious balls than Jorginho normally does. Jorginho prefers to play on the ground and he likes to control the game with a lot of short passes around the box, but with Cesc, you know, he's more of a quarterback in that style, you know, a more traditional deep line playmaker. He likes to force the play and he likes to make a lot of things happen, and I think that it was a pretty good performance. But it was a really good start to the game, and we were really forcing Liverpool back, and our high press is working pretty well against them as well. One moment in particular where you're hoping that Morata's going to do much better. A world-class lob through ball to Morata. Perfect weight, perfect height, perfect trajectory. And you just knew that Morata was going to mess that up. And I mean, really, Morata today was very poor. Very, very, very poor. And it's looking quite worrying for him in regards to his future. It might be a bit unfair from my side, but you know, I'm seeing too many comparisons with Fernando Torres. His confidence is going down, wasn't really asserting himself or looking to be in the spotlight in this game today. But the overall build-up was just awful. Now, I understand that Morata's never really been that striker that holds up the ball. It makes you think sometimes, Chelsea, you know, you were so willing to pay this amount of money for him. He's not necessarily suited to this style of football because he's just struggling way too much when it comes to build-up playing. And when you're seeing stuff like that, there's a genuine reason to be worried. But anyway, you know, that good spell lasted for about 30 minutes, I'd say. Liverpool started to get back in the game and their pressing was really working a lot. Now, they started to target us out in the wide areas. And, you know, Azpilicueta was really struggling at times. He was giving away deep possession of the ball quite a lot. And that's always kind of been a thing with him because, you know, Azpi's the least technical defender out of the rest of the guys in the back four. He is susceptible to losing possession too easily. You know, we saw that under Conte at times where he was needlessly giving away possession. Again, you know, players only get better as the season does go on. So I'm not saying, you know, rule this guy out, he's awful. But I'm not going to be surprised to see other opposition teams try to press us in those areas where we're more susceptible to losing the ball. And I thought that was quite smart from Jurgen Klopp. And obviously we know that Liverpool like to use that counter press all the time. And, you know, we're losing the ball in areas that we can't afford to lose the ball in. And it seemed to start this thing where we lost control of the game. We weren't able to play out from the back effectively. And, you know, it's so important that our key players are playing at the back because it makes a massive difference. I mean, for example, if you're Azpilicueta, you know that if I pass the ball to Rudiger or if I pass it to Luis, under any type of situation, I know that 9 times out of 10, they're still going to have possession of the ball and we're still going to be able to play out. You see that Cahill's on that side that Azpilicueta is playing in. And, you know, it's going to sound like a weak excuse, but the reality is this is how footballers think. And Liverpool were piling on the pressure, you know, shots from Sturridge from distance hitting the top of the crossbar. And they're looking more threatening, you know, they were exploiting the spaces in the channels where they were making a lot of runs, and Shaqiri was causing us problems as well. And really, you felt like Hazard needed to get in this game right now. some of the attacking players weren't as effective. I'm sorry, Ross Barkley today. It's like he takes 2 good steps going forward, 1 massive step going backwards. I thought it was a very poor performance. Now, during that spell where the team was looking decent, Barkley was looking quite confident. You know, his first touch was quick. It was sharp. He was finding spaces between the lines and he was making things happen, you know, playing quite a few forward passes. Once Liverpool started to apply the pressure a bit, he was just susceptible to constantly losing the ball. And you guys, it's not the first time I'm commenting on Barkley and him not being able to resist the press. You know, once you start applying pressure on this guy, he starts to fall and he loses possession. And how many times did he put us in very unfortunate situations where if Liverpool were more clinical, they could have got some goals out of them? And I'm just thinking, Barkley, I'm still not too sure. You know, if you're Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you're really frustrated at playing this game. We saw what Mason Mount was doing against Derby as well. You know, if Barkley wants to succeed at Chelsea, the guy has to step up a lot more. At the same time, you know, it can be hard, you know, when guys like Morata aren't offering anything up front. It does make it hard to find that passing outlet, but at the same time, you're better than this. So I feel that criticism is justified when I'm talking about this. But yes, you know, thank God Hazard came on, as I was saying earlier. And, you know, with Eden Hazard, I'm sorry, it's not a debate. It's not a debate. The guy is the best player in the league. Honestly, you guys, sometimes when I hear opposition fans giving their thoughts and opinions on Hazard, you can't imagine some of the nonsense you hear. You really can't believe it. You're in disbelief. People seem to think he's very average, and it just sums up this whole thing of people not watching players they criticise or they have opinions on. They only judge them based on stats, and you know, it's just ridiculous. But I mean, you know, the guy's introduction in the game, when you've got a player of this magnitude in your team, it just boosts your chances of doing anything in the game. Similar to Lionel Messi, you know, whenever this guy steps on things, gets on the mark, he makes a massive difference. And this is what you get with Eden Hazard. We're seeing a much more hungrier Hazard that's looking to take more responsibility in the box as well. And you know, even before, I mean, you know, I can't talk about his goal just yet. I need to talk about Emerson. Like, I was literally holding my heart. I was getting nervous. I'm thinking the referee. I mean, let's be serious. Barkley was onside. Thank God for VAR, because if it wasn't there, there's a massive possibility that goal is not going to be allowed. But you know, it was great that Emerson obviously got that equaliser. When you saw the celebrations at the end of the game, you could see how Jorginho was reacting to Emerson, saying, "I'm proud of you," and obviously saying, "This is it, this is it." So hopefully Sarri is going to start giving Emerson more game time. I'm sorry, I thought Emerson was pretty good today. I have to say, you know, his ability to carry the ball. You know, with Alonso, he needs someone to position himself out there. You know, when you've got Emerson, he can carry the ball up himself. You don't even necessarily need to push out your wide players too wide. You know, they can receive the ball in the half space. I thought his defending was good as well. I thought it was good. And I'm sorry, needs to give this guy more game time. I think this is the type of performance that makes the manager have to reconsider you, in my opinion. But yes, now I can get back to Eden Hazard, and my God, the world-class goal he scored. I was going crazy in my room, honestly. Everything was getting thrown around. A classic Eden Hazard goal. I've been waiting for one of these types of goals. Another classic he scored against Liverpool, and it's just the class he uses. It's just perfect. A perfect dribbler. He always knows what he's going to do with the ball before he receives it. This is why he looks even better. I mean, we all saw the opportunity for him to obviously do the overlap, which he did do. Smashed it in the top left corner. Amazing world-class goal. And you can definitely see that the Liverpool players reacted to it quite negatively. I'm looking at Jordan Henderson in particular. The guy was looking rattled against Eden Hazard. I've never seen a player try to have a go at Hazard before, so it was quite weird to see. Henderson was riled as hell. I mean, Hazard really got in his head. And that's it. We end up winning the game 2-1. And yeah, finally I get my first prediction right for the season. I did say in that match preview that I see us winning this game 2-1. There's still some more interesting things to discuss. Sarri and some of his substitutions. Another game Hudson-Odoi didn't play in. Of course, there could be an argument that, well, you know, we needed to pay the big guys to come on. But when I saw David Luiz coming on, I felt it was a bit excessive. I really felt it was. And I don't know, they were seeing other players struggling a lot more in that game. I think other things we learned from this game as well is the fact that, you know, we are able to create stuff against teams like Liverpool, which is a good thing. Yes, we did struggle at times with our pressing, but let's not forget that Rudiger wasn't playing. Let's not forget that Hazard didn't start. There was no Luiz starting the team as well. No Kepa out in goal. Because let's be serious, Caballero made a mistake for that goal. And this game really gives us a lot of answers in regards to what the game on Saturday is going to be like. I think that, you know, obviously with the introduction of Kante coming in midfield, we can't forget he was able to help us, you know, win midfield back again. You know, guys like Fabinho were starting to get into the game a bit more, starting to win a few more tackles. Kovacic was at his greatest game. Not really. There wasn't much incision from Kovacic in this game. Victor Moses playing. I can't lie, you guys, I thought the guy was pretty decent tonight. I thought Victor Moses was able to keep possession quite well, linked up the play. I felt he helped out well defensively. And I don't know, I keep looking at this guy and I just keep thinking you'd be very good as a right back for us. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. You guys, that's going to be the end for today's match review. Tomorrow I'm going to be releasing that 5 talking points video. So I'm going to be elaborating on more details in this game. You guys don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.